and I am and was totally satisfied with a sometimes not so fun experience moving. Call Timothy at 770-378-4708
You're listening to America's Web Radio
and make
on the
it
AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com.
and a good experience.
Thank you for listening.
Around Town Movers for that local or cross-country move. Timothy, Around Town Movers, in my opinion, are the best. That's Around Town.
And we are in?
And we're out.
Okay. It's, let's talk Venezuelan.
Yes.
Yes.
How you doing?
Uh,
I'm doing.
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 Doing. How's everything?
Everything is good.
It's good. Okay. Good as the arepas that she brought you.
Oh yes. I just want to let you guys know that I made some arepas before I got here, and arepa is made out of corn.
Yeah, it's like a cornbread, but it's different. The dough is different.
And then I fill it up with ground beef this time. We can fill it up with many different things, but when you fill it up with ground beef, you're supposed to put like a little cheese on it. But because we are in America, we don't know who is the person who can eat, mix those two kind of things together. So this time I didn't put no cheese on it or nothing like that because I'm not sure my environment, and then I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable or reject the food. So I just leave it with the ground beef. And
Okay.
So by next time, probably I'm gonna do it with next time that I cook again arepa, we're gonna fill it up with ham. And I know there is a lot of people who don't eat no ham, so I'm probably gonna make in two different kind of filling, ham and cheese and shredded meat and
beef
beef and
reina pepeada. That's
ropa vieja, they call it ropa vieja. And we make empanadas too. Empanadas is something that you fill up and you fry it up. Oh, fry is the killer, but it's a good thing.
It's a good
It's
thing.
good when you fry the arepa or you fry the empanada.
Yes, and the hallacas.
Oh, hallacas for the for Christmas time,
for
holidays,
Yeah.
And I mean the cuisine, the Venezuelan cuisine is
It's like their music. They have a different thing in every zone of Venezuela. It's very different. Arepa is
the
like
breakfast. The
it's like
breakfast.
no, it's for every day and for every
occasion,
for
every single
occasion.
day. Yeah,
It's like a sandwich.
like
okay.
the sandwich here in United States. Sandwich you can eat sandwich in the morning, middle, or whatever time.
Whatever. Okay.
It's
the
the
same.
It's
in Venezuela happens in the same way. But every zone has a different taste.
Yeah.
Okay, some places put some sugar on the arepa, and fry them, so it's sweet. In other places you have very complex flavors. For example, you have the arepa pepeada, reina pepeada. That's means the best queen, and that happens. Because in 1955 we had the first Miss Universe, Miss World. Her name was Susana Duim. She was my mom's friend, and she passed away about 2 years ago. And somebody said, "Okay, we have to do some kind of things for this occasion," and they mix mayo with avocado and chicken, okay, and they mix all together and put inside the arepa, and it became an overnight success. Okay, that reina pepeada is the number one arepa when you talk about that kind of things. Okay, well, that's the arepa, the round thing. But you have other things that you can do with the same.
Other varieties.
Okay, and it's different than the arepa that you produce in Colombia.
Yeah.
The arepa that you produce in Colombia is made of sweet corn, no white corn. So we have something with sweet corn but we name it cachapas. It's like the pancakes, but made with with that kind
with
of
the
flour.
corn, with corn,
With corn,
and you can
sweet
see
corn.
the when you grind the corn, you can see it in the waffle. We call it, okay, you guys call it waffle because it's round and you can put it to cook
It's
it.
a pancake.
It's a pancake.
The
but,
pancake.
But for us it's cachapa, and then you can see, and then you can
And,
eat it
and,
with
and
butter,
you
with
put
cheese.
a water, and you put butter, and you put cheese on it, and okay,
it's
and that's
delicious.
why we are gorditos.
That's why we're fat. Yeah.
I had when I was farming many years ago.
In Texas.
In Texas.
Okay.
And, I had a couple that were working for me, and I went through some rough times, and the lady decided to adopt me, sort of. So every night I got real Mexican food, and I'd get the tortilla. And it's always funny to me that no matter where you go in the world, we really all sort of cook alike some way or the other, It's just like you were talking about pancakes and this, but it's, and
Yes,
corn.
but let me explain you something. The all America, from Canada to Argentina, you have the culture of corn. You don't have that culture of corn in other places of the world. That's America. See, if something defines America, there are four things that define America. Is cocoa, the chocolate.
Cocoa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have the avocado.
Avocado.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Tomatoes.
The tomatoes.
Okay.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes or tomatoes?
I love it.
Okay. And
This is why we don't let them talk.
corn.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. And corn. Those products came from America.
But you add one thing to it, corn over here, but they'll have something, maybe it's a corn tortilla or corn whatever,
cornbread.
but they'll replace it with flour over here. It won't be the same exactly, but it'll be
Something baked or something,
Yeah,
or
but
something
so
fried. Or
corn
something.
on
Yeah,
the
I
cob-
get what he
corn-
said.
Corn in the cob is a truly American food, but we have the same. We have the same. We name the corn cob. We name jojoto. Yeah, and perdonen mexicanos si sonó feo. Okay, jojoto is joto in Mexican. In
It's
its
something
Mexican
Culture.
Culture means gay. Okay,
Joto,
joto. Okay,
But,
so
but the corn in my country is jojoto, which is
Yes.
different. But and we call it corn in the cob, right? Corn in the cob.
corn in the cob.
Yeah, we share a lot of things. I get what you're saying, because it's somehow or some way we are doing either baking, and it results almost in the same thing with different product,
Or
but
frying.
or frying, or in the horno, horno.
Yeah.
The horno. Horno is the
Bake.
the bake,
The-
or the skillet. If you skillet, it's reminds me so and so in my country when you skill
Yes.
something,
Yeah.
we have that connection.
And the arepas in Venezuela is like the gorditas in Mexico. It's like a, but the difference between the corn flour in Mexico and the one that we produce in the other sides of Latin America is that the Mexican mixed is the mixing of corn with a little bit of we name is calcium.
Calcium.
So the flour for tortillas is different because it's nixtamalizado. It's what they
A
name.
chemical something.
It's a bond between calcium and the corn, and it gives the tortilla a different flavor than we have in Latin America. In Latin America, we mash the corn with a pilon. The pilon is a piece of wood that has a hole, and you mash that thing with the wood. So it's different. The mashed corn in Mexico is with a stone. It's a stone.
You go like this,
Okay,
like this.
and in Latin America it's with
mashing.
it's mashed with this,
mashing.
and it's a different. And that part that mashed with a wood thing, it came from Africa. It's from the African culture. It's not from the Indian. The Indian culture that we had in
the Indian is the rock.
The rock.
The rock.
Two
So there's
volcanic
mashing
rocks mashing with
from Africa?
and the other one, the African culture, they had this pilon, and they have
You smash
smash, and even when they were smashing the corn in Venezuela, for example, they sing when they are doing that, and said pilón, pilón, dale duro ese pilón, pilón, pilón. So they were singing while they are doing that kind of work, because that kind of work used to be doing by slaves. Okay, and we had a very parallel situation with the slavery in Latin America and in the United States. It happens almost at the same time. And in Venezuela, slavery ends in 1854, if I remember. Okay, but it's very near on the process that we have in the United States. It ends in 1865 with the 14th Amendment and the 13th Amendment that ends really with the slavery institution. Okay, so that's what we had, and the best food in Venezuela, the best food came exactly what happens here in the United States. The soul food. Who create the soul food? Were the black people. Why? Because they get the whole influence on everywhere. Okay, especially in New Orleans. Why? Because they have the French, they have the Spaniard, because New Orleans is not New Orleans really. Okay, Bourbon Street is not Bourbon of the whiskey. Bourbon is Bourbon. Bourbon is the king of Spain. The house of Bourbon.
The royal
house
the Bourbon.
that actually is in Spain. Okay, so Bourbon is not Bourbon the whiskey. It's Bourbon the royal houses of Spain. So what happens? What this mix happens something incredible with the own personality, such as the jambalaya. Okay, we have the equivalent of the jambalaya in Venezuela, but it's not the same. Okay, we have fried chicken. Whoa,
Ooh.
My goodness. Okay, so but why is the fried chicken? Because the French, you name it, French fries. In reality, it's not French fries. It's Belgian fries, but that's another
subject.
Another subject, okay? But the French bring us a lot of procedures, but who learned that high cuisine?
The people who were serving in the house.
The people that were serving in
and
the
then
house.
back in those days were the slave.
Yeah.
And then that's why African American ladies, they have such a good hand with food. They know how to cook. Because of that skill passed down. It started as a slavery, but it passed down until today's day.
Okay.
We come back with more. Okay, there is your arepa in there, Dave. Okay? Here it is. Look.
Perhaps you are struggling to cope with the disease of addiction. If not, you probably know a family member or friend that needs help in battling the cravings and the personal and professional damage done by the effects of drugs or alcohol. Get a pen and paper and be ready to write down the following. These are the issues that the trained staff at the Atlanta Healing Center address and treat every day. Their doctors and counselors with over 40 years of practice in the field of addiction can treat the suffering individual in a thoughtful, compassionate, and experienced manner and guide him or her along the path to recovery. So call 770-696-9862 and speak to a knowledgeable staff member about how you or your loved one can be helped to enjoy a better and healthier life. More information is also available on the website at www.atlantahealingcenter.com.
This is Ron Camacho, host of the Business Hour, on Fridays from 10 to 11 a.m. Join me as I talk with passionate professionals on a program that profiles the best businesses, business professionals, business practices, and fascinating individuals to get an insider view of how America works. 10 to 11 a.m. on America's Web Radio.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we're back on America's Web Radio, and we're enjoying the Let's Talk, Eat, and Sing Venezuelan show today.
Yes.
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 And Kat asked me to read this.
Yes, that's the lyrics from Pablo Herrero and José Luis Armenteros. They were two composers from Spain that produced this music, this song, in 1980, and it's like a de facto third national anthem. Okay, you know every country has their national anthem, and they have, for example, America or the Yankee Doodle Dandy or some patriots things. For Venezuelans, the national anthem is El Gloria Bravo Pueblo. That means the glory to the brave people. That's the national anthem. But the second hymn is Alma Llanera. That means the soul of the plains. Okay, and this song became the third, or I mean, more than the end of the exiles. Okay, but I want you to read it because it's a beautiful poem, even though it's not exactly what Venezuela is. And let me later on explain
we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Okay. I carry your light and your aroma in my skin, and the cuatro in my heart. Is that right?
Yes.
I carry in my blood the foam of the sea, and your horizon in my eyes. I envy not the flight, nor the nest to the
Trupial. Yeah.
I am like the wind and the grain. I feel the Caribbean like it was a woman. I am like this, what I am going to do. I am desert, jungle, snow, and volcano. And where I go, I leave in my wake the rumor of the plains in a song that unravels me. The woman that I want has to be of heart, fire, and spur, with her skin tanned like a flower of Venezuela. With your landscape in my dreams, I will go through those worlds of God, and your memories in the twilight will shorten my journey. My childhood was left in your beaches, laid out in the wind and the sun, and that nostalgia which rises up to my voice without wanting to became song. From the mountains I want their immensity, and from the river its colors, and from your children who will sow new stars. And if one day I must be shipwrecked, and the typhoon breaks my sails, bury my body near the sea in Venezuela. That's very pretty.
Llevo tu luz y tu aroma en mi piel, y el cuatro en el corazón. Llevo en el sangre la espuma del mar, y tu horizonte en mis ojos. No envidio el vuelo ni el nido al turbial. Soy como el viento en la mies. Siento el Caribe como una mujer. Soy así, ¿qué voy a hacer? Soy desierto
río, selva, nieve y volcán, y el anclar dejó una estela, el rumor del llano en una canción que me desvela. La mujer que quiero tiene que ser corazón, fuego y espuela, con el piel tostada como una flor de Venezuela.
Con tus
Paisajes y mis sueños me iré por esos mundos de Dios, y en tus recuerdos al atardecer me harán más corto el camino. Entre tus playas dejé mi niñez, tendida al viento y al sol, y esa nostalgia que huye en mi voz, que sin querer se hizo canción. De los montes quiero la inmensidad, y del río la acuarela, y de ti los hijos que sembrarán nuevas estrellas. Y si un día tengo que naufragar y el tifón rompe mis velas, enterrad mi cuerpo cerca del mar en Venezuela.
Okay. Okay.
You know, this is where we get more. You get more for your money on America's Web Radio and Let's Talk Venezuelan. You get recipes. You get the latest news from Venezuela. You get singing. You get entertainment.
We want to bring Venezuelan people over here. So let's, if there is any Venezuelan over here in Atlanta that wants to share with us their experience and their American experience in Atlanta, they are welcome over here. So, and especially the people who pays the rent, the announcers. we need people who wants to announce here in the show. If we
we've sent out to a lot of folks about the show, and your show is doing very well, and we expect it to even gain in popularity over the next few months, years, decades, whatever. I probably won't be around in decades. But anyway,
it's a long-term relationship. Definitely. It's like the relationship, as I told you before, between the United States and Venezuela, because for the last 240 years plus, Venezuela and United States has a very intertwined relationship. Not always good. Okay.
Regardless, I got a news for you. Regardless, that a lot of communists and socialists try to cut that kind of relationship. That stop that kind of relationship, hostigated and sabotage and provoke conflict between the two nations. Bottom line, when they are escaping from Venezuela, guess where they're going, and where they're coming? To the United States.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give you a news that I would like for you to talk about a little. That is that there is a lot of people who are going back to Venezuela right now because the laws are being reinforced, and the damage they've been doing to United States and to Venezuela is so big that they have to go back to the country, and they don't want to be over there.
They don't want to be.
They don't want to be over there, but they want to come here and enjoy United States peace, security, and prosperity. But they don't want to enjoy the mess that they create back there. back in the country. They create the mess that Venezuela is today. They created when they promoted, promoted, and executed socialism. Okay, so now they are here and they have to go back.
Yeah,
Period.
the 2 days ago, one vice minister, so it's like subsecretary over here, a Venezuelan subsecretary that is an actual active admiral that is part of the tyranny in Venezuela.
Mm-hmm.
He had to move on.
His whole family, he had to move them back.
Move back.
They were living. Where
he was living in Orlando, Florida, and they said we don't want to be back because of everything over there does not work, and we don't want to lose the schools. But listen,
well, you created that.
You created that.
I mean, he's the almirant. He's in charge. He's in charge of the security in Venezuela for those people who are messing up the Venezuelan. So he's part of that circle, right?
Yeah,
that's what we call it. He's part of that circle. So, okay, it's good for you to be in charge over there, but you have your family living in another country?
In United States?
In United States, the one that you guys almost all the time, they're bashing United States. Get out of here, gringos. Get out of here, Yankees.
We are the empire.
Yeah.
Like the Star Wars.
Like
empire.
The empire. Like we are the colonies. Like we are trying to colonize Venezuela. And we are talking about USA. Which is not true. It's not true. So, but they had their family living in here. They had their wife, their kids, their nieces, their nephews, their sisters, their brothers, their mothers, living in here in United States, in Orlando, in New Orleans, in Austin, Texas, in New York, in Washington D.C. All these people are having their family here in South Florida, in Weston, in Doral, in Coral Gable,
in a very high
expensive, very expensive areas. You know, in Coconut Grove, and you know that's where they live.
So did they steal their money, get their money, or what from the oil industry?
They bring their money here and they live here
they brought the money over here. I had it was not confirmed, but the Treasury Department is freezing accounts from Venezuela that did not justify the origin of the
money that they bring.
Okay, and those accounts are over $500,000 in volume. You know, it's something incredible. The inform was that this measure affect around 140,000 Venezuelans in United States. Okay, imagine 140,000 people who brought all the riches over here, okay, and left 30 million Venezuelans without anything,
without nothing.
Food, medicine, services, everything was a mess, you know.
It is a mess.
It is a mess. Well,
we're going to have to take another break, and we'll be back with Let's Talk Venezuelan. This is the kind of information that people need to know. And when you get in Congress, you can start a Democrat investigation. That's all they do, investigate something or the other. We'll be back right after this.
Last week, my party chief said he wanted to go someplace he had never been before. So, I took him to the rear property line. Sound familiar? Are you tired of trudging all the way to the back of property lines? Why not take the steps to become a crew chief instead? Or even better, why not become a professional land surveyor and see your name stamped on that final survey? The Nettleman Institute of Land Surveying Engineering Technology is your next step. At NICET, we believe you are the future of surveying, and we want to do everything we can to help you succeed at becoming a professional surveyor. NICET offers the only online one-year certificate of land surveying program that includes all books, fees, and expenses in one simple price. Visit landsurveycareer.com to stop trucking through the mud and step into your future today.
Quick Stakes, that's Q-U-I-K Stakes, are not just for surveyors. They are great for family and community gardens. Go online to www.quickstake.com or contact your local land surveying supply dealer and get you a box of Quick Stakes. You'll love them every year when you plant your garden. Again, that's Quick Stakes, Q-U-I-K Stakes, the truly preferred way to stake and identify what's in your garden now.
Hi, this is Ron Camacho, host of the Business Hour on America's Web Radio. If you'd like to hear an eclectic mix of great programs, from relationships with Dr. Ann Schubert to homegrown veggies, and from classic cars to the Constitution, we've got programs for discerning listeners at www.americaswebradio.com.
And we're here again in Let's Talk Venezuelan. Okay, so where we were?
We were talking about how the enforcement of our immigration laws, the enforcement of our laws I visited, for example, I visited Guyana 2 times, and every time that I came from Guyana, I was bringing some money, and then I have to declare the money and where the money came from. I have to show, where it came from, and because that's the law. So a lot of these people were living here for many years, and some of them had a residency already approved. They were taking away from those people the residency, the visit visa, the student visa. All these people are going back to Venezuela in this week. They only are giving them a week to pick up their stuff and go back to Venezuela, unless they're running around like illegal in here.
Yes.
How they move to one place to another. But it's like they don't have too much chance and choice, because those are people who are coming and living here better than you and me. I mean, I'm living in the United States for over 25 years, right? And
They live better than me because they don't own a radio station.
They had the money to buy big houses, new cars, and they put their own business. They produce their own job. So they don't know the realistic life of United States. How do you become part of United States? Because since they have their own small businesses, they don't have a American Caucasian or American black being their bosses. So they don't assimilate. They don't assimilate to United States because they don't have that experience. Because they own their own business.
And you have to understand that these people, in reality, it's not normal people. These people are Alibaba and the 40
thieves. So they bring their money from over there, thief, whatever way, narco, whatever, we don't know. So when United States confront them, okay, now it's time to renew your status. Okay, you're supposed to be bringing us where the money came from.
Some of them steal billions of dollars, not millions.
Billions. So when they cannot show or prove where the money came from, that's when the problem starts for them. But they knew. But it was 8 years of grace that Obama gave them. Yes. So they're here for more than 8 years. I mean, how long did it take for you to have a permanent resident? It took me 5 years to be a resident. Okay, we're talking about 8 years. So Obama, the Democratic administration for 8 years opened the doors for them to come to United States and bring those money that we're stealing from over there. So now that everything has to be checked out, check and balance, right?
Yeah.
Check and balance, check this and that, and then you're not showing, well, I'm sorry, we're gonna freeze everything. The money that you invested here is free. It's froze?
What happened with this guy, the one who lost his
yeah, he was the treasurer of Chavez. He was living here for over 16 years. He came here when Chavez got in power. And only last year, that's when the government, United States, because he couldn't prove where the money came from. Yeah. Only here in United States, without counting the money that they have in Europe, in Switzerland, and without that, we don't know about that. Just what they have here. Well, that man now is in prison, and they took everything from him. And they froze everything because he couldn't show where that money came from. So this is what and then on top of that, these people are coming here and they, let me put it this way, Mr. Mosey. Let me put it this way. They come over here with millions, okay? And they invest those millions, not only in a small business, their own business, but they invest those millions, their money in campaigns. And guess who's the one? Political campaign. And who's the one who's getting benefit from those millions? It's not the Republican, because they do not believe in Republican principles and conservative principles. They come and they invest that money in the political arena with the Democratic. For example, in Florida, they were supporting the candidate for the Democratic, Gillian, who is extremely lefty, socialist, and communist. Okay, the guy. Okay, they were supporting the Senate, Bill Nelson, which he was about to drop because he's too old. He needed to go. But they were putting millions of dollars in those people because they know.
Not the Russians.
Because they know the Democratic. It's because they know the Democratic Party will support them, will open up their hand, will look at another way about their money, because that's what happened for 8 years. The Obama didn't investigate them. They just told the people from the CIA, from the FBI, from this agency, don't investigate, don't do nothing. So they know that they have to support these people, invest the money. It's a guarantee for them, to keep them coming to United States. That's why they are so against the Republican. Any Republican candidate, they are against. When they find out that I am a Republican candidate, and not only a Republican, I am a constitutionalist candidate, they're gonna come after me, because they don't call United States of America. They call a slavery state of America. They really believe that following the Constitution, following the laws, following the Bill of Rights is being a slave of the government. That's what they believe. So when they have somebody candidate like me, you're going to see no Venezuelan is going to support me in my candidacy. Regardless that I'm coming, I was born over there, now I am an American, who are Colombo and Venezuelan original, because my parents were from Colombia, but I was born in Venezuela and I grew up in Venezuela. So I have both country in me. So regardless that I am from Venezuela, when they find out that I am a Republican, they will not even look at me, because they don't like to follow rules. They don't like to follow Constitution. They do not like, in their mind, there is always a way around to not follow certain rules, that's why.
This is the Venezuelans that are here in Atlanta?
Yes,
mostly. In every part of the country that they come loaded. Okay, there were people, let's say, from PDVSA. A lot of them came without any money because they were expelled from Venezuela in 2003, 2002. Okay, they expelled the technicians of the Venezuelan Petroleum Corporation, PDVSA, Petróleos de Venezuela Sociedad Anónima. They expelled them and they substitute that people that were highly skilled, American trained people that had 30 years in the industry. They were medium and high directors and managers. They were expelled from Venezuela, and Venezuela, this regime brought people who
did not have no knowledge,
or they were in the lower level of the industry, and they put it management in the managed level. So and one of the things that you see in the Venezuelan industry is, while by 1999 Venezuela produced around 3.5 million barrels of oil per day. Okay,
and today how much?
Today is less than 700,000.
So the whole industry is destroyed. Is destroyed because the people that they put in charge, they have no knowledge, no training. What's the label?
They didn't.
It sounds like Biden's son.
Oh,
Yes,
yes,
something-
exactly. You see? Did you see the similarities between the Democratic
Similarities, yeah.
between the Democratic Party in the United States are the same similarity of Venezuela, the Democratic. The same. It's the same mentality, the same strategy, the same agenda. It's the same, but with different
in Venezuela,
faces.
we don't have a real opposition.
Yeah.
In Venezuela, they don't have everyone.
But
comes from
Carlos, you need to
socialist
understand something.
background.
They do not have a real opposition because the constitution that they are ruled right now forbids them any kind of opposition that is not socialist. Okay, so let's say there is people over there who are capitalism or constitutionalists, whatever, like free market. They will not allow them to become as a group and register as a party, political party, because the constitution do not allow
Forbid
them.
that.
It's forbidden. So that's why Venezuela is how it is. Any party in Venezuela, political party or any candidate, has to be a socialist. So how can you
Socialist
take
Christian, social democratic.
how can you defeat a socialist tyranny with more socialists? It's impossible. It's impossible because the constitution in that specific country will allow you how you're gonna behave. It's like here in the United States. Why do you think these Hispanic who are coming here, Africans, Middle Eastern, European who are socialists and communists, what do you think they are attacking so much our constitution? Why do you think they're attacking so much our Bill of Rights? Because they know while the constitution is still and while the American Bill of Rights,
the Bill of
and
Rights,
the American we still upholding and uplifting the constitution, they don't have no chance for nothing. So their main labor is, and the main goal is to destroy our constitution. How? Listen, the lefty, the socialists.
yes, we will take your guns.
Exactly. They create the chaos. How do they create the chaos? When you use the media and you start talking about racism, you start talking about, dividing people and making them feel unsafe. Of course, there is some loony out there, it's going to snap. But who created the crisis? The media, the Democratic Party, the narrative. Okay? So they create the chaos, which is the person coming and killing people, in El Paso, whatever. Okay? Any other places. And then what happened after that? They come with the solution. What is the solution? Oh, we need to annulate and we need to control guns. You see how it is? This is the same way in my country. They did it the same way. Hugo Chavez said back in those days that there was a lot of killing in Caracas and in the big cities because people were holding guns. Mm-hmm. So everybody have to surrender their guns. And people, listen to him, and they gave him,
they gave
him
the guns.
The guns.
The people who were law-abiding citizens.
They gave up.
They followed the rules, and do you know what happened?
The ones who were committing the crimes, they did not give out. Mm-hmm. They didn't give out the guns up.
And there is another characteristic: the police and the crooks, mm-hmm. they are in the same team.
They are in the same team over there. Mm-hmm.
So now we're in the same team. We have to go to
a break.
We'll be back with Johsie and Kat right after this.
Quick Steaks, that's QUIK Steaks, are not just for surveyors. They are great for family and community gardens. Go online to www.quicksteak.com or contact your local land surveying supply dealer and get you a box of Quick Steaks. You'll love them every year when you plant your garden. Again, that's Quick Steaks, QUIK Steaks, the truly preferred way to stake and identify what's in your garden now.
The Docs for Patient Care Foundation is your way to join the fight and become a member of an organization created by doctors for patients dedicated to fighting for your healthcare freedom and preserving the doctor-patient relationship. Get a pen and paper. Write down docs4patientcarefoundation.org. That's DOCS, the number 4, patientcarefoundation.org. Go to our site and please make a generous tax-deductible donation and join the fight today. Thank you.
This is Ron Camacho, host of the Business Hour, on Fridays from 10 to 11 a.m. Join me as I talk with passionate professionals on a program that profiles the best businesses, business professionals, business practices, and fascinating individuals to get an insider view of how America works. 10 to 11 a.m. on America's Web Radio.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And now we are in
speaking
talking Venezuela.
I'm sorry, I got a lapsus mental.
No.
Okay, so talking about what I was explaining before. We as an American, we need to start writing or emailing or calling or make presence in the office of our representative, local representative, like in this case our districts, and ask them that we need to reactivate the House,
The Committee of
the Committee on American Activities. That committee was in function until 1975. Okay, they were the committee who was in charge of looking and bringing to the law those people who were threatening the country, who were threatening, who were trying to do things,
who were involved in propaganda against the United States of America. That's treason.
That's treason.
Okay? And you have a lot of people right now using our own constitution in order to destroy us. Okay?
Yes.
Because they don't have a deterrent. They don't have a people who said, no, hey, wait. Freedom, yes, with responsibility.
Yes.
Okay. If
yes.
if your intention is to destroy this country, to destroy the U.S. Constitution, to destroy the Bill of Rights, okay,
you are a traitor.
Something.
You are a traitor.
You are even a traitor, or you are a person that do not want to be integrated or assimilated to this country, and we don't want to have you here.
We don't want you here.
If you want a United States Islamic United States of America, do you know something? There are 54 countries in the world that has that system. Go over there. Do you want to live in a socialist country? Go to a socialist country. Go to Cuba, go to Nicaragua, go to Venezuela, and live with your means over there.
But they don't want to give up the comforts and the freebies of the United States.
Exactly. And then we have our own people from United States, right? Going to those countries, promoting the freebies, promoting the help, promoting, and then when you go to El Salvador, when you go to Honduras, when you go to Guatemala, promoting those, like Pelosi did 2 months ago with the Democratic Congress representatives. They went over there to those countries, promoting all that. Guess who's going to be coming across the border? Because that kind of mentality is exactly that kind of people with that kind of mentality, that's the people the Democratic Party needs here in United States. In order for them to be in power, because those people are going to be voting for these people. You know, the mentality of state supplies me everything. You know, father state, the big government. and the government has to give me house, health care, education, and all that mentality. They're coming over here with that mentality. So the Democrats don't have to work on them because they already come with that mentality. That's why they're promoting those caravans. That's why they're promoting all these people to cross the border. And when they got here, they come with the phrase, I have my right. I am an illegal, but I have my rights. What in the hell? I'm sorry to say that. But when in the hell, back in 25 years ago, I never heard something like that when I came here to United States. Nobody was saying something like that. But why today they are saying proudly, I am an illegal, but I have my rights?
They have zero rights as far as I'm concerned. But did you hear what Warren said yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
All immigrants should be not illegal, any immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
Should be able to collect welfare.
Well, they will be able to collect like for 2 or 3 years, and after that, when the money is finished, what are they going to be collecting? Good. Because I spoke to those people when they come and tell me about it. I say, okay, let's say we're going to do it the way that you want it. Do you think how long that money is going to last in order for us to supply the 30-something, how many million? 33 million people? Yeah. 33 million people, citizens in United States.
The best thing towards socialism is still what Margaret Thatcher said. Socialism is great until the other person's money runs out.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's happening in Venezuela. Chavez was giving away not only to Venezuelan people, but he was giving away to the Caribbean peoples, to the islands around the Caribbean. He was giving them oil. He was giving them Bolivia, all these countries. He was giving them a lot of money. But for what, right? When election, like OEA or United Nations, and he needed a backup,
states,
they have to vote for him because he already gave them free stuff. But now, Maduro is complaining because those countries are not helping him out. You fool! How are they going to be helping you if you don't have no more money? That's a big example of what socialism is. It will work for 2 or 3 years. Yes or no? And after that, what are you going to do? Where are you going to get the money?
Just pure power. And that's what I saw, unfortunately, on Lucy Macbeth. Macbeth.
Del Baño, sí,
yeah,
Macbeth.
Yeah. They called the police.
They called the police on the constituent, 911 call. Because the constituent went over there to ask her why she voted for impeachment inquiry without her asking her constituent what decision they wanted.
Okay, and they have to understand something. When somebody is a representative, they are not representing the Democratic Party.
In this case, because she's a Democrat.
Yeah, but that's not a political. It's not a political function. She represents 750,000 people who lives in the district. In her district.
They, like I say yesterday,
it's like a lawyer.
Like I told the guy yesterday, the staff, he was like this.
Shaking.
Like I told him, look, she is our representative, and I am a Republican. She's my representative. She doesn't represent only Democrats. She represents Democrats, she represents Republican, she represents independent, even atheists she represents. Of course, this one here start laughing. But it's the truth. When you have 750,000 people that voted for you, you need to consult with that group of people. Okay, this is coming out. What you guys think about?
It's like you have a company.
Okay, let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. I've started on my Twitter and on Facebook going after the Democrats who have done nothing and said, look, we hired you.
Exactly.
In quotes, elected. But it's the same thing as I'm hiring you to represent me.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what we as a citizen, we need to remind them. And I told him, today she's here because we voted for her. But in 2020, if she doesn't fix what she did, and if she doesn't roll back the vote, we're gonna make sure by 2020 she's out, and you are not gonna have a job, because people are upset because she's not doing nothing for the constituent. She's just falling into this witch hunt, impeachment, which doesn't have no ground. It doesn't. It's all. They remind me so much of old lady gossiping old lady. That's how they remind me.
Yeah.
Everything is a gossiping.
Well, that Schiff should be run out of town on a rail. He has done nothing. All the Democrats know is the word impeach.
And how many millions are we wasting already?
Oh, it's incredible.
Incredible.
And,
so that's
anything,
another thing
should
about
be
Democrats. They only want.
Yeah.
Okay,
If anybody should be
especially
impeached, it
especially
should be
for the
Democrats.
last years that we have around 4 or 5 times the government shut down because they didn't get an agreement on the budget. So listen, your first duty as representatives is to
Approve the budget.
approve the budget.
Approve the budget. Your second duty is approve money for the national security.
Yes.
And they are not doing their job.
No.
They are not doing their job.
Exactly.
And then we have this problem inside. It's like we're being attacked. It's like, no, it's not like, no, it is. We are being attacked from within and from outside.
I don't want to
And
see another.
it looks like they don't care.
If you see another by March or April or February, another shutdown of the government, what's your opinion about that, David Moxley?
My opinion of it is, if it'll help us, I really don't care. Shut it down,
Yes.
If
You know what? Basically, majority of those employees are Obama overholders, so let them suffer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Because the president even have a chance to fire some people and hire new one because they were secure. Before Obama left, he secured them. Nobody were going to lay them off legally. He organized them in such a way like ¿se llama esos grupos de los teachers? ¿Cómo se llaman los profesores? Estos grupos de
The unions.
unions. He organized them like in unions, and then President Trump cannot fire nobody. Look, when Obama came in power, and he got the White House, he fired everybody from George Bush. He fired everybody. He left the White House, and he left all these overholders.
with that, we're going to have to get ready for the Spanish version of Let's Talk Venezuelan.
Okay, think
And,
about the anti-American comedy.
You got it. And while I got the chance, I want to thank Johsie and Kat for coming in and doing 2 hours and letting us know what's really going on and happening in Venezuela. And for the Spanish-speaking folks, we've got another hour coming up that'll be all in Spanish. And I've even dusted off some of my Spanish books, and I'm going to start trying to learn it again. But anyway, I didn't make it in high school, so maybe I can make it in old school. But
Well, you're from Texas, you know.
I know.
Yeah,
I know
Texas
some.
culture
I know
is a
some
mix.
Mexican, but Spanish, but anyway. So we'll be back in just a few minutes talking Spanish and talking Venezuela. So hang in there. We'll be right back.
Perhaps you are struggling